Okay, this video then is all about simplifying fractions and writing things as a single fraction. So how do you write something as a single fraction? Well, the only way to do that is to make the denominators look the same, so that way they're comparable, and then you can put things together. So in general, you're thinking, well, what does this denominator have that this one doesn't, and vice versa, and that way you can put them together. So I can't put these together yet because this has an x on the bottom and the other one has a 5 on the bottom. So to make them have the same denominator, okay, that 3 over x, I need that to have a 5 on the bottom as well. So to make that have a 5 on the bottom, I can times the bottom by 5. But if I do that to the bottom, I have to do that to the top as well. Otherwise, I'm changing the original number. Because 5 over 5 is 1, remember, all right? So I haven't actually changed the number, I've just times it by 1. Likewise, you've got x over 5 here. Well, this one has an x on the bottom, so I need this to have an x on the bottom. So I'll put an x on the bottom, but if we do that to the bottom, we have to do it to the top as well, because x over x is 1. So I'm not changing the original number. I haven't just magically said, where a lot of students go wrong is that they'll just times it by 1 over 5 or 1 over x here. And that's not the same thing as timesing it by 1, and therefore you've changed the original problem. You can't just magically invent numbers. In maths there's a price for everything. Okay, so top times top is 15, bottom times bottom, 5x. Great. Minus top times top, x squared, bottom times bottom, 5x. So now we have the same denominator. Perfect, they're comparable, and that means we can put it all together as all over 5x, because every term is over 5x. It's just like the examples that we did earlier, but in reverse, when we split the fractions up and put them into index form. Okay, so example 1 down. Next, let's go for this one. So again, in order to write this as a single fraction, that's the task. This and this they have different denominators, and they need to have the same denominators to make them comparable. So this first one has an x minus 1 on the bottom, but this one has an x plus 1. So I need the bottom to have x plus 1 as well. But if we do that to the bottom, we need to do that to the top. Likewise, here we've got 1 over x plus 1, but it doesn't have an x minus 1 on the bottom. So I'll put 1 on the bottom, but again, we don't have anything for free in maths, so we need to do the top as x minus 1 as well, so then we're still timesing everything by 1. We haven't changed the original problem. So here we have top times top is 2x times x plus 1 plus top times top, x take 1, and bottom times bottom, x take 1, x plus 1, and on the bottom, x plus 1, x take 1. So notice the denominators are the same. Hurrah! Which means we can put everything together. And like I said earlier in the previous video, I am writing more steps than I need to. If you're pretty savvy, then you can skip a lot of these steps. But at this point, we know we're doing the basics, so we're just going to do every step to make sure you can follow everything. So we're multiplying out that bracket then, so that's 2x squared plus 2x. And then we've got plus x here, and then minus 1. All over, we'll leave the bottom factorized. And so in total we have 2x squared plus 3x, take 1, all over x minus 1, x plus 1. There's a nice single fraction for you. Brilliant. So that one is done. And then we have with numbers, just like in the booklet itself. So this time, because the same thing applies to numbers as it does with algebra, right? So we're here. Okay. So first things first, I can't make these two a single fraction because the denominators are different. So if I want this one to have a 5, like we said earlier, I put a 5 on the bottom, I have to put a 5 on the top as well. And if I want the other one to have a 3 on the bottom, then we need a 3 over 3 as well. And we'll leave that divided by 2 by 3 for now. We just clean everything up before we mess with that. So top times top is 5 over 15 plus 12 over 15, all divided by 2/3. So we put this together because this has the same denominator now. So 5 plus 12 is 17 over 15. And then remember, this divide means over 2 by 3. And just like in the previous videos, what have we got now? A fraction divided by a fraction. So that denominator times the numerator, that numerator times the denominator. So it flips up. So 17 over 15 times 3 over 2. Top times top, bottom times bottom. So 3 times that is 54. 2 times that is 30. Obviously that can be cancelled down to 15 over 27. Can it go even further than that? Yeah, it can. We can go another factor of 3 can come out. So in the end, your simplified fraction is 9 over 5. And I think that's the end of the video. Yeah.